Hey there, my friend. This video is going to clash with some people's understanding and belief systems, and that is okay. But what I'd like to share is how I've learned to accomplish more and achieve more and build more with less energy and less effort. So there's what I've now come to find is a myth, what I used to think was just good practice, which is that to do more or to achieve more, you got to put in 10 times more effort, that all it takes is a shitload more energy. And if we were just, meat sacks with nothing else to the situation but the matter that we exist as, moving through a world that was dumb and all it took was to poke it and something else popped out of the other side, if there was no energetic component to life, that would be the reality. But what I've found is that you have to ignore the energetic reality to make that your reality. When you ignore the energetic reality, you're ignoring a shitload of possible leverage you could have to make your dreams come true, or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. It doesn't have to be some big business dream, although I'm in business and a lot of people I work with are in business. But there's an energy that is trying to support us all the time. And immediately I think of people who would think that this is crazy, because I would have thought this is crazy. But the fact of the matter is, we don't think anything crazy about the electricity that we can't see, feel, touch, or smell, or anything that flows through all of our components, like this phone right now that is making this conversation possible. We don't think about the invisible electromagnetic radiation that is, the light from the sun and the solar radiation and the Wi-Fi signals that are also making this possible. So to say that there is an invisible force that is supporting us is a little bit woo-woo until we take a little bit of a dive deeper. So to give you my story and my journey a bit, I was all about just productivity. Put it all on a to-do list and then crank it out like a madman. And I would be effective in terms of getting a lot of stuff done. At this time, I was one-on-one coaching with entrepreneurs, helping them build businesses. And I was here's the challenge with this, is that every time you employ a strategy, like an energetic strategy, or you show up in the world as a thing, you show up in the world with a certain type of energy, or ignorance of energy in this case, you automatically teach people how to be like you. So another way to think about that is people aren't listening to what you're saying nearly as much as they're listening to what you're doing. They can't hear what you say because what you're doing speaks so fucking loud. So what was happening was I was working with these purpose-driven, heart-centered people who were naturally intuitive. And I was moving from a place of you just gotta work 13, 14 hours a day. I was listening to a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk at this time. Work your face off, work your butt off, make it happen. And literally, if you look through the cover photos of mine, I might have taken them down, I don't know, but my logo or motto or whatever is to let your purpose go viral. But at this time, I misunderstood my own motto, and I was trying to make your purpose go viral through effort and energy. And what I'm finding now, as I started to cut coffee out of my diet, is that when I am in a place of 50% allowing inspiration to happen, and then 50% action, I create literally 3 or 4 times more valuable things in my life and my business. And the reason for that is because I'm not letting myself fall under the illusion that I have to get amped up and energized up and force it to happen. Instead, I kind of get quieter, I spend more time in meditation, I relax a bit, and I know that I'll be guided and that it's all okay. And so what I'm making this video for is anybody out there who's forcing through something that just doesn't feel like it's working, and you're probably literally, how it happens in my body is I get a lot of twitches. I get nose twitches, I get eye twitches. So if you're getting your body twitching or hurting or random sicknesses, or you can't speak clearly for some reason, all these things are starting to happen, it's likely that the intelligence I'm talking about is actually trying to slow you down. That's how genius this shit gets. Life is way smarter than we give it credit for. And sicknesses and everything, they're not accidents. It's like the intelligence of life that is guiding us to say, hey, maybe we should cool it a little bit and listen to what God or the universe or source or spirit or whatever word you like is trying to offer to us. Basically, if you don't listen to your intuition, it'll tickle you with a feather until it slams you with a brick. And what you'll start to find is what I found, if you're on an entrepreneurial journey, is that this is how to move through the block of fear of delegation, of fear of systematization, a fear of letting something become bigger than you, because inherently in delegation, systematization, and creating a brand of a business instead of just a personal brand of you, you have to have a lot of trust. There has to be a lot of trust involved. And if there's trust involved, then you're not just trusting other people, you're trusting that the flow of things will be taken care of. You're trusting that life itself will have your back. And to do that, what I found, which is actually a really big breakthrough, is that you have to actually trust the process itself. Inherently, you have to show up as the person who is trustworthy in the energy of the universe. By that I mean, don't show up with this grind, you have to do it all yourself, work your face off mentality. And at the same time, don't show up with zero action at all. But instead, what I found that works best for me is spending a good amount of time in the morning relaxing and cooling it, and then having intentional action, but moving from the inspired ideas that happened when I relaxed. And so the reason that I think this is going to get a little bit of flack is because there's people out there that really, really believe how I believed, which is that, if it's going to happen, it's up to you. But I'd like to, I'd invite you to look at the, I forget how it goes, the four stages of human consciousness. And so at the bottom, there's victim consciousness. This is life is happening to me, and I'm a victim, and it sucks. Life's a bitch, and then you die. That sort of deal. And then as you start to get a little bit more evolved, you start to explore maybe personal development. Maybe you get a network marketing job, or also maybe a sales job. You start to think that life happens because of me, and this is like the empowered zone. And so in this stage, you're like, if it's going to happen, it's up to me. And if I'm going to pick myself up by my own bootstraps, and I'm going to work my face off and all these 70, 80-hour weeks and stuff and make my dreams happen. And then, level 3, the third stage of human consciousness, is realizing that maybe there is more of a flow to things. So you move into this new operating system that allows you to co-create with life, where you trust yourself and you trust life. And you're really moving in tandem with the energy that is trying to make your intentions happen, because you are the conscious creator of pretty much everything. And now I'm starting to talk woo-woo in ways that people won't fully understand, but certain people will. So I'm speaking to everybody wherever they're at. And so if you've experienced the fourth stage of human consciousness, which I've only touched every now and again, is unity consciousness, where now you trust yourself and you trust life, or you would if you saw any separation between yourself and life. But instead, you just kind of reflect life and move with life, and everything happens around you and through you, and there really is no separation. You are totally oneness with the system. And so hopefully that's resourceful to you. It was really helpful for me to realize different ways that I've been, kind of ignoring, kind of confused. You get a lot of personal development material, some business coaches teach you some things, and spiritual teachers teach you different things. But the fact of the matter is they're teaching different levels of the scale. And that was a huge breakthrough for me. If you're looking to scale a business, you have to, unless you want to sacrifice every area of your life, you have to learn to trust life and trust the universe and realize that you're being held by the process. Otherwise, your intent to do it all yourself will fucking ruin your life. So my recommendation to you is to drink a little less coffee, spend a little more time in meditation, spend a little more time in nature, go for walks, relax a bit, and still stay dedicated to taking action every day, but make sure it's aligned action, doing the things that will move the needle the most, with the most intention. Leverage with strategy and application of the best ideas that you have, but also leverage it with joy. Become a person that people want to hang out with, because you just show up in the world with such a joyous attitude, and of course people want to hang out with that. It makes everything way easier instead of forcing things and having to do it all right. So if you're struggling at all, reach out to me. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I love you dearly, my friend. Have a beautiful rest of your day.